Hey guys, Scott from aristocob.com here.
And Seth from theshrinkingpastor.com.
Together, the three of us, we are Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome back once again. Good morning. It's a bright and sunny morning.
Nice.
I thought the time change. Oh, that's right. The time change makes it brighter in the morning. Yeah. What a maroon.
Yeah. And dark at like 4 p.m.
I hate that. Oh, so let's get to the schmokin'. We are going to smoke some Mac Baren Plumcake because I'm just in the mood for something that is...
it's festive, seasonal.
It's seasonal for the holidays.
Yeah. I wonder, do you guys know, is there a tobacco out there named Fruitcake?
No one smokes it.
Yeah.
It keeps getting regifted.
Everyone gives it, no one smokes it. Kind of like...
Smell that. That smells way different than I expected it to. It says manufactured from choice matured tobaccos to bring out this golden brown pipe tobacco. So the tobacco is mature. That's good. That'll fit in right here today with us. It's fruity, which plum cake you'd think would be fruity, but it's got a little bit of
really fruity though?
Yeah, but it's got a
little
bit of
that removed. It's a
little bit of a backburn to it. I don't even know anything else about this. Is there something on the bottom? Don't turn it over.
Plum cake brings the thoughts back to old times when the sailors on board the sailing ships filled their pipe with good, satisfying tobacco and having the scent of tar and salt water all around them. That's what I think of when I think of plum cake. Bright Virginia tobaccos mixed with burley, a little original Mac Baren Cavendish, and just a touch of Syrian Latakia. You're going to love this.
Oh, it's the Syrian Latakia that I smell. I thought I smelled something.
On top of this masterly made blend, original Jamaica rum has been added to fulfill the impression.
Okay. I thought I smelled something that had, that strong peppery smell to it.
This blend is full-bodied and rich, giving you the taste nuances of natural sweetness added with a slight taste of smoke, Latakia, and the distinctive aroma of sailor rum.
All right,
why is all the rum gone?
I'm changing my plans on what I'm smoking it in. I had planned on smoking this in a Rusticob, but I'm going to go for the shortstop instead.
There you go.
All right. So we're just coming off of Thanksgiving. You guys might have seen last week's episode. We were talking about how we're going to prepare, or what did we talk about last week?
Last week we talked about how I won the turkey cook-off.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like admitting that.
Last week we talked about that, and guess what? It happened for real. Clearly, last week's episode was filmed before Thanksgiving, but now post-Thanksgiving, I totally won. You want to tell them about that?
No, I think I'm done talking about this. No, his turkey won. And his turkey was an Alton Brown recipe, which is really my recipe.
So you're saying Alton Brown won?
In a way, I am.
Oh. I'll take it.
So what I wound up doing is something that I learned on one of my favorite YouTube, non-tobacco smoking YouTube channels called Food Wishes. We've talked about Food Wishes before. And the guy on that channel is Chef John. And he had this idea, not even an idea, he showed a method of deboning a turkey and then stuffing that deboned turkey, making a loaf, basically, or it looks like a
turducken without the duckin. It's basically what you make, right?
There was no duckin, that's for sure. Anyway, and two things happened. The first one was I waited way too long to get my turkey, and wound up buying a fresh turkey instead of my typical frozen turkey.
Poor chef that blames his bird.
I'm just explaining what we should have done. And next year we'll do this. We should buy the exact same bird, right? So that it's got, if there's anything that's enhanced or anything about it, it would be similar.
Point of order. I bought my turkey 2 days after he did. After he bought his. So if anybody waited too long to buy a turkey, it was this guy.
You seem to want to talk. Why don't you just go ahead and talk?
No, continue. I'm waiting. I just want to make sure the full story is told, not just selective parts.
The selective parts are my favorite parts.
I know they are. I'm picking up on that.
So, at any rate, I deboned the turkey, which, I tell you what, that was a job and a half. Now, I can dissect a turkey no problem when it's cooked. I have dissected chickens before, so, buy a whole chicken, cut it up, and fry it, for example. No problem. I know my way around a bird. What I've never done before, though, is deboned one raw. And it took 45 minutes. I did not expect that to happen. And the toughest part was the legs. And you know how if you eat a turkey leg, it's got all those tendons in it. Well, those tendons are attached to meat, and once you cut the bone out, you then have to use a pair of pliers to pull those tendons out. And when you're pulling them, they're taking meat with them. So you got to hold the meat in while you're pulling on the tendons with a pair of pliers. When it was all said and done, I got most of them, but not all of them. I was having some of the leftover dark meat and ended up getting 2 bits of tendon.
Really?
And for something that's supposed to be deboned, you don't want something that's gristly and tough like that.
Or boned.
The texture of my bird wasn't right, and part of that was I didn't brine it. Mistake number 1. And if you look at frozen birds, oftentimes they have been injected with a what do they call that? It's a broth of some sort, but a solution.
Water.
A solution.
It's water that makes you pay more for it. It makes you feel better about it. It's the stuff that leaks right out of it.
It's like a commercial brine, right?
Yeah.
So
it's the stuff that adds an extra pound.
The bird I had none of that. And so we know from our experience of using the Alton Brown method, that brining makes all the difference. It just adds so much flavor and helps it retain moisture. And that was not the case with my bird. It was a little too dense, I think. Wouldn't you say that? Is that a word you would use for it?
It was. So there were a couple of problems that plagued his more than mine. One of them is we didn't have a carving knife, an electric carver, which we have had and it has
Forever.
Gone missing. Yeah, and so
we have 1 or 2 pieces of it, but not the whole.
We've got the blades, but not the actual apparati. So the problem, and I tried to find one the night before and had no luck. The problem with his is because we didn't have the electric carving knife, the pieces, it was hard to get them cut real thin, and so it ended up being more of a ham consistency or ham shape, but then, turkey flavor. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
And because it had stuffing in it, that was different. So when you sliced it, every single slice was a ring of meat that surrounded a stuffing, and the stuffing was great.
Yeah.
I made some dressing, and I made some stuffing, and the difference being, one's in a bird and one is not. But I made them using 2 different recipes, and the recipe I used for the dressing, it was as bland as could be. The stuffing had dried cranberries. It had golden raisins. It had a bunch of fresh herbs,
and it had turkey juice and turkey flavors cooked into it.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, Alton Brown in general says stuffing is evil, and I think that's true
because it dries out your turkey, and because it is a breeding ground for bacteria, including salmonella.
So after all that effort, I decided I would probably never do it again. But then I was disappointed by the results and these excuses I'm giving you. I think that if those were resolved, I think it'd be a much better bird than it turned out to be. So I'm probably going to do it one more time. But what I might do is I might just debone the main carcass and leave the bones in the legs, which you can do.
Yeah.
It's just a thought. When meat is cooked on the bone adds flavor. We did make stock. We made the best stock I've ever made, and again, using a technique that was covered on Food Wishes.
Mine, I used the Alton Brown method. I bought the turkey the day before, 2 days before Thanksgiving, at 2 a.m. the morning of Thanksgiving. I started. I thawed it all day the day before, and then at 2 a.m. I started working up the brine, which in his method is expensive. The brine is about as expensive, if not more so, than the turkey, especially if you don't have as much of many of the spices. So you're going to buy a gallon worth of vegetable stock, which is 4 32-ounce cartons. So that's $10. Plus, it uses rosemary, allspice berries, which are not cheap. But once you buy those, you have enough for a couple years. You never use them on anything else. I never use allspice berries.
But did you buy fresh rosemary, or did you buy?
I didn't buy fresh. I've got some in a jar from last year, actually. Which it's it's a higher end flash frozen, dehydrated. So it's not the stuff that comes in the $10 spindle. We have some of that at home too. The 25 spices. It's not that
you got it like 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's not that bad. So it still has some flavor. And then I had to buy cinnamon sticks this time around. And so you boil the vegetable stock with a lot of brown sugar, a lot of salt, some of those flavors, and then you're supposed to take that, mix it with half part water and ice, and then brine the turkey for at least 8 hours. I ran into a snag because I didn't have enough ice to cool down the boiled water, and because it was 2:30 a.m. at this point, I didn't have enough time, so I actually had to go out to the gas station at 2:30 a.m. Thanksgiving morning to pick up a bag of ice so I could cool off my brine so my brine wouldn't cook my turkey.
You weren't the only one that was out that late, though.
Apparently we crossed
at exactly that time, I was back at the Walmart market buying twine to truss my bird.
Which I ended up buying the day of Thanksgiving because I had to go out because my thermometer was broken. Thanksgiving morning. Thank you to anyone who works in a Walmart or a grocery store, and if you were open on Thanksgiving Day to save all of us. Thankfully, I wasn't the only one there. I would have felt really, really bad if I was the only guy there, but no, the place was packed. So thank you for everyone there making Thanksgiving happen.
So in the end, we had 2 good birds. Seth's bird was better than mine, but they were both delicious. And oh my gosh, the wives went nuts with extras. I mean, we had mashed potatoes, we had sweet potatoes, we had
red Jello, orange Jello.
I did make a cranberry sauce that was also very good.
Yeah, it was good.
Another Food Wishes recipe.
The problem with his turkey, as far as leftovers are concerned, is because you have this big center piece of stuffing. If you're going to make a sandwich with it, you either have to discard that stuffing and put it to the side. You can't slice it and make
put it
a
on
good
sandwich, right.
sandwich slice.
I mean, if you like putting stuffing on your sandwich, which I think some people do, that's fine. But you can't just take a slice and stick it on. Otherwise, the middle of the sandwich
is going to have a huge bite with just stuffing.
Nothing but stuffing. But anyway,
we had 3 pies. There were 5 of us.
Wait, your
5 of us
son
plus Ender. He eats a lot. He eats like a grown human, but there were 6 of us. We had too much food.
We did.
I brought home 3 gallon Ziplocs of my turkey.
Good news is we got to eat some leftovers, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Last night was good. We I don't know the words.
You had some that lasted until last night?
We did.
Wow.
I told you 3 gallons.
Our leftovers are gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a great time. How was your Thanksgiving? Oh, it's like Dora the Explorer, one of those shows. Oh.
Come on, Diego. So, last year, about this time, we had just started the channel and had just gotten around to doing Tobacco Advent, which I hope you're watching. We are well underway with Tobacco Advent. I think over almost halfway through at this point. And we're enjoying those. Thank you for everyone that sent in tobacco.
Awesome.
It's been great.
Came through.
And yeah. But this time, last year, we were showing off some of the things that we've maybe purchased recently and giving some ideas for those of you that might need some shopping ideas. And I've got one thing that I want to share that I actually picked up because it was recommended on Tactical X-Ray's channel. Alex, who's a friend of the show, he sent Homer some knives last year, and if you have any doubt about a knife, he has probably reviewed it he has some amazing, like, cheap knives on his show that he reviews that are phenomenal. Some of the ones are knockoffs of, high Benchmade, I think, and high name brand knives. He somehow manages to find the knockoffs of those, and some of them are just about as good as the real thing.
How do you know? You don't know. I mean, when they reverse engineer those, they don't maybe get the metallurgy right, but they're good knives. I don't mean to. What am I trying to say? When you spend $10 on a knife that is a knockoff of a $200 knife, you're not getting the same knife. You're just not.
Maybe.
But boy, we're getting some really nice knives.
Maybe. You don't know.
Gosh, I would hope not. I feel like a sucker.
You should. There are things where, as you know, with Harbor Freight and shopping at Aldi and doing all this other stuff, there are things where the name brand brings about a 800% markup. It just does. Because the name brand is the one that's doing...
I would agree with Aldi. I would not agree with Harbor Freight, because Harbor Freight,
they're
not selling anything that is as
stuff,
good as the name brand. They just don't.
Right.
They sell plenty of stuff that's worth what they charge.
Yeah.
Even worth a little more than they charge, but no.
We see it a lot, and it has happened a lot in the vaping world, in the vaping community right now, where you'll have a American-made new product, someone designs it, and they're selling this atomizer, which is a little hunk of metal, for $200. China knocks it off for $20, and it's a one-to-one replica. Now, again, to your point, maybe not every piece of metal is the same. Not every, it might be gold-coated or gold-plated and not a full gold piece. But by and large, the experience is the same. I don't know. Unless you're an expert, you probably aren't going to notice the difference.
No, that's like with an e-cig. It's kind of like comparing the smoke that you get from an expensive briar pipe to the smoke you get from a tobacco pipe.
A corncob pipe.
A corncob pipe. I'm not fooling myself. This is not as nice of a pipe as a Peterson. But that smoke that's coming out of his face hole is just as good.
Right. That's right. So anyway, check out Tactical X-Rays on YouTube. Great channel. So I was watching some of his more recent knife reviews, and this is not a knife gift recommendation, but what I stumbled on was one of his, I think, most popular videos. Looks like something like 400,000 views, showing an everyday carry kit. And so what he was showing off is this is actually a different version. Did I buy this version?
It's a knockoff.
Look at this. Well, he was showing off a Maxpedition bag like this. What I ended up buying, and I forgot that I did this, I ended up buying a new, I guess it's a new company. There weren't nearly as many reviews. This is a company called VanQuest. And this is a pretty much a replica with some tweaks to the Maxpedition bag that he shows off there. But what he shows in his video is actually more important than just the bag. He shows how you can use the bag as kind of a bit of a man purse. Now, some people in the everyday carry community, people that are, prepared for emergencies, people that are like to have things kind of organized. Some of them swear by bags like this, and they'll compartmentalize parts of their life. They'll say, hey, I've got this bag that has a first aid kit, and anything I would need in a first aid scenario, here it is. And then I have this bag that has all of my knives and my extra ammo and other
bug
things.
out bags? Is that the idea? Or
some of them, sometimes it's just, hey, these are things that I have to carry. So, for me, the reason why I got this and thought this was a nice, necessary investment is I have a backpack that I love. But what I hate about it is it only has two compartments. It has the main compartment, and then it has the catch-all, all the loose junk compartment. And I'm sick and tired of the loose junk getting tangled, getting trapped. You can't ever find anything. And so some of these guys, the way that they'll use these is they'll get two or three. They'll have one that has all of their loose electronics, one that has all of their knives and stuff, one that has other things, and they throw these in their bags.
That's actually a great idea. My computer case and my luggage need some compartmentalization.
Yeah, think about it like the files and the folders on your computer, right? It
All
would
of
be
them are on the desktop.
I know, and that's fine for some people. For others, we like to put them in the folders.
Not even fine.
All right. And so what I've gotten this, and I just got this recently. It's got a nice handle. It's got all these straps that you can strap it to. If you have military bags, these companies make other backpacks and duffel bags that you can actually strap it to. It's got the Velcro on the front if you want to put a flag or something on there. It's got this little compartment in the front, but that's not the cool part. The cool part's on the inside. I just threw a few of the things in here that I use regularly, that I have been carrying around with me, that I didn't want to have loose anymore. So I haven't really maximized the potential of this bag. So inside here, check that out.
Nice.
It's got several compartments. It's got a couple of big compartments. In these big compartments, and there are two of them, I've got 2 hard drives. Again, I always have these in my bag. Here on the front, it's got a big elastic strap.
Bring that closer.
All right, so I've got the hard drives, got a big elastic strap here, and this has a battery with a crap ton of battery life. This is the Anchor battery pack that we talked about while ago.
Last year.
That's right. It's got a flashlight in the front, which is nice.
Everything we own has a flashlight on it.
I've got my cord here. This is my super secret knife that we told you guys about, my Z knife. This is a multi-USB hub that I picked up recently. I've been carrying around. It's been nice for all of the times that I need to have several things plugged in. My laptop only has 2 USB ports, so if I need to have like my camera and the microphone, and if I need to also be charging my phone, it's nice to have that plugged in. So again, this is just random stuff. It's got a strap here, so I've got a flashlight. I know, to the point. And then it has these medium-sized straps. It has these small-sized straps, which, again, I haven't really begun to utilize. There's straps down here. There's a big pocket here. I have just a little bit of paracord in there in case I need it. So I've got my Google Chromecast. I've got connectors for my computer, a charging cable. All of the stuff, not all, but some of the stuff that I use regularly I have in here. And what it's done is anytime I need it out of my backpack, instead of digging around, instead of getting frustrated, I just yank this out, and this is all nice, organized, and ready to go.
Cool.
I love it. Thank you, Alex, for recommending it. I've only been using this for about 2 weeks. The Mac Expedition one that he reviews is also awesome. It just doesn't have as many elastic straps. But this is a newer version.
Where'd you get this?
I got this on Amazon. I think it was like $30.
How much was the one he was reviewing?
About the same. It's about the same. They have different sizes. They have different thicknesses. This one's actually a little bit taller than the one that he has, and a little bit wider by like a half an inch. So this is a little bit bigger, but again, this one has more straps. The one that was reviewing was a little smaller, but they have them they have them in big sizes, and they have some that are thinner too. This is a 2-inch. I thought this would be good for my hard drives. They have some that are 1 inch, which would be better if you want to carry around a bunch of knives or your lighters. It would also make an incredible tobacco pipe case.
Sure that would.
I hadn't even thought about that until just this moment. Pipe case. Be awesome for that.
All right.
So, love it. That's my toy.
So, share a link in the description. You share the link with your significant other. Tell them you want something for Christmas.
That's right. Just put them to the video. Make them watch.
Cool. So I've been smoking this thing for 15 minutes or so, which is always a surprise to me that this little shortstop will smoke that long. You kind of stopped smoking.
Well,
what do you think of Plumcake?
I like it. I do like it.
I just exhaled right through it. I'm getting quite a bit of that Latakia. Of course, that's what I taste. It's like when I was a kid, there could be one onion in the entire meatloaf, and I could taste that onion. Mm-hmm. And I'm just that way with Latakia. But
I can taste the Latakia, but it's not.
It's a Perique. Which is it?
It's not. It's Latakia.
Latakia, yeah.
But it's not overpowering. I don't think. I like it. But yeah,
so this is kind of a crossover, right? I mean, this is definitely an aromatic because of the flavoring that's added to it, but it's leaning more towards the English.
Yeah, I was thinking we should have some sort of slide scale
We do,
to
we
judge
do.
things, aromatic to English.
That's a good idea. Something. The Markwood Men's Breakfast Club scale. We'll work on that. In the meantime,
The Markwood men try to avoid the scale,
we do.
but in this case,
The
we might
scale
make
is
an
not our
exception.
friend.
No.
So, I think that's it for this one.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us this
Happy
week.
holidays.
Don't
Enjoy
forget to
your
join us every morning at for Tobacco Advent, and thanks again for everybody who has contributed to that. Keep watching. I think you'll enjoy it.
As always, visit mywieneryourmouth.com. It'll bring you back here. You know. All right, guys. Make it a good one.
Bye.